Hi, I'm Heidi Wright. I'm the internship coordinator here at Pacific University, and I coordinate internships as well as some of the other ways that students can gain experience outside of the classroom. By coordinate, I mean that I facilitate the process of awarding credits for certain work that you do outside of class. And by experiences, I mean work that you do, whether it's paid or unpaid, that has specific goals for what you learn. We call these learning outcomes, and I'll refer to this later. Okay, so there's several ways a student can earn credit for the work that they do. Internships are the most generic and the most common. Some majors require internships. Other majors just highly encourage them. There are no majors that discourage them. Internships involve several parties: you, the student, me, a faculty instructor, and a supervisor at the location that you're working. CE, SUS, and the IDP requirement. CE is civic engagement, SUS is sustainability, and IDP is international and diverse perspectives. So as you've probably already learned, these are three requirements that are fairly unique to Pacific, regardless of what your major is. You typically fulfill these requirements as part of a class. If you have an idea or a project that is not currently encompassed by a class, you can essentially set up your own independent study with our McCall Center for Student Engagement. Study abroad. You can take classes in another country for Pacific credit, and the experiential learning comes from the daily exposure that you have to a new culture and a new climate. Field experience and practicum. These are two specific ways, specific to majors or specialized internships. Field experience is for SLAM majors and is usually specific to the sports industry. Practicum is for social work and criminal justice majors and is limited to a select group of organizations. Okay, reasons for gaining experience. The first one is hands-on learning to supplement classroom learning. So you learn theory in the classroom, and then you have an opportunity to put it into practice. Understand how an organization functions. Again, you hear how organizations are supposed to run, so let's get some inside knowledge. To understand an industry or a field of interest. So you may be curious about or think you're interested in a particular industry or field. So let's test the hypothesis. To understand more about yourself. So what type of work environment suits you? You may not know. Through experience, you find out if you like to work in teams or if you prefer to be an individual contributor. Also, you learn what you prioritize, what takes priority in your work life. Is it flexibility? Is it independence? So through experience, you find things about yourself that you may not have known. To make professional connections, or what we sometimes call networking, both personally and professionally, it's important to make connections with other people that last beyond your last day of work. So this is important, especially when you graduate and are looking for jobs. Lastly, and probably most importantly, is it builds critical competencies, which affect your future career the most. What are career competencies? Career competencies are skills that employers want graduates to have. And how do we know what these are? We take them from a well-known organization called NACE. NACE stands for the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And it's kind of a group or a consortium of colleges and employers that get together every year to discuss what skills are important for employees to have, and especially new graduates. So once this list is established, then colleges create their learning outcomes with these in mind. Learning outcomes are the goals of the class or the internship. You'll see this on every single syllabus that we have in some form. It'll say something like, by the conclusion of this class, students will have learned, or students will have practiced, or had exposure to these skills. In case you're not looking at the slides, I'll just read them to you. They are not in order of importance, and a particular job will use some or all of these to a different extent. Active citizenship, helping the community. Analytical and critical thinking, using logic and reasoning to make decisions. Applied problem solving, understanding the context of a problem and coming up with a solution. Career management, understanding oneself and how they might fit into the world. Digital literacy, competence with technology. Engaging diversity, working with diverse individuals or populations. Ethical reasoning and decision-making, making the right decision. Innovation and creativity, trying or implementing something new. Teamwork and leadership, working well as a team member or leader. Communication, both oral and written communication. So the first step to planning out your experience is to meet with your advisor and discuss these questions. Do I have an experience requirement as part of my major? In order to graduate, do you have to have a certain type of experience? Which content requirements, so civic engagement, sustainability, IDP, will I have met as part of my major? Some majors have one of these or all of these built into the major. What am I hoping to learn from the experience? What are my goals? When is the best time to do the experience? I mean, especially for study abroad, it's going to be important to time that out for when it makes sense. And where will the credits fit into my curriculum? So once you have answers to those questions, then it's important to set up a meeting with me. And the purpose of that meeting is to get those credits on your transcript and show where they're going to be in your schedule. So really good idea to make an appointment with me once you kind of have an idea of what you want to do, except for practicum. Practicum is not me. So please make an appointment with me or shoot me an email. The sooner, the better. And I hope to meet you soon. Thanks.